Why you wanna go get a good man? You no good woman. Why you wanna go get a good man? When all you wanna do, girl, is treat him bad as you can. Now you know he love you, give you anything he can. Said you know he love you, give you anything he can. But every time he turns his back, damn, you're with another man. Hey, yeah. Now he won't listen to his mother, and to his sister he gives a death ear. And when his friends talk about you, he said, man, I just don't give a damn. Oh, you no good woman. Why you wanna go get a good man? Why you wanna go and get a good man? Oh, when all you wanna do, treat him bad as you can. Now you know he can't resist you, girl. How a man can't eat or sleep. Said you know he can't resist you, girl. Oh, man can't eat or sleep. Say you make him bring home all his money. Oh, give him good love and to keep him weak. Hey, yeah. Now he won't listen to his mother, and to his sister he gives a death ear.
Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. You are on this ride with me, Jazzabrations Live, on this Sunday afternoon. Welcome to Jazzabrations Live. I have two incredible guests in the studio with me today. Now, we opened up with a fabulous song from a fabulous artist that will be joining me as my guest today. None other than Miss Dena Michaels. Welcome to the Jazzabrations Live.
Hi, how are you doing?
I am doing wonderful on this Sunday afternoon.
Yes.
Welcome to the Jazzabrations Live
Thank you.
again.
Thank you so much.
Tell me about a no good woman messing with a good man. Come on now.
Well, it actually was it was as a result of a story or a situation that I heard about a guy, a very good guy who had gotten connected with a female, and she just was not a good woman at all. And her whole purpose and her whole goal in life was to cause him pain. And sometimes it's really hard for us to even accept or even believe that, you know, there are women like that out there, because we're always talking about how bad guys are. But
Right.
there are some sisters out there, there's some women out there that will.
Oh, we know what
Toss
kind of
you up.
damage we can do. We ain't got to talk about that one. But that song right there gives you a groove. It makes you, make you want to pop or you want to bop. And it's a great sound.
Thank you.
So I'm just going to dive right on in. We're here this Sunday. We are in Black History Month, February.
Yes.
And this whole month is just dedicated around the history, the legacies of us.
Yes.
And so today being Second Sunday Blues Legend Sunday,
Yes.
I know we have a great guest that will be joining us, one of our blues legends.
Yes.
He will be joining us on the next half of the show.
Yes.
But I wanted to find out from you your introduction to the blues and how this legacy has affected you and your family roots.
Okay.
Let's go there for a little bit. Just give us a little bit of that history.
Well, actually, I am from the lineage of sharecroppers and cotton pickers. I mean, my family was so serious about it that they made sure that I had that experience. So, like when I was like 9 and 10, every summer we had to go down south. But this particular summer, I thought it was going to be plain around as usual, and it was the first time I had ever gotten an opportunity. Well, I don't consider it an opportunity. I was asked to go to the field. I was told that I had to work in the field that day. And I'm like, okay, how bad can this be? So that morning, my grandmother woke us up before day. It had to be like 2 or 3 in the morning. and all you could smell was potatoes and chicken and bacon and, oh my God, biscuits. So we were ready to eat, but we had no idea that we were being fattened up for the kill. So we got up, everybody went to the table, we were eating, and the next thing you know, there's a horn blowing outside. A truck pulled up. So y'all come on, get up out of here. So everybody runs out into the truck, and, everybody jumps on the back of this opened back truck, and all they had was wood slats on the truck. And they had to pull me up because I was a shorty. They pulled me up, and so some were sitting. The older people were sitting, and the rest of us had to stand. And I mean, literally, this thing, when it was moving, it was rickety, and I'm like, okay. And they drove so far out, that by the time they got to where they were going, the sun was starting to peak. It still hadn't come up. It was starting to peak. And so they told us all to jump down off the truck, and we all jumped down. And so all you saw was rows of agriculture. And so they would go 1, 2, 3, you right here. 1, 2, 3, you right here. And so they would line us all up in front of rows, and they would hand us hoes. Now remember, it's still kind of dark and cool. So I'm thinking,
you're 9 years old.
How bad can this be, right? Around about 8 o'clock, the sun is out. I haven't even gotten through half of one of the roles that they had assigned me. I said, I can't do this. I started crying. My hands were like blistering. It was ridiculous because we were expected to chop the weeds from around the agriculture without chopping the actual agriculture down. So there had to be precision to that. Those rows were it looked like I was in an ocean. I'm serious. And I literally cried, and I am so grateful for the experience though, because it really made me understand what my ancestors had gone through. And so for that, I'm totally grateful, but it was grueling work. It was grueling. Yeah.
Now, I've never had an experience like that.
Yeah.
But just to know that, we've seen pictures of our history.
Right.
We've seen the pictures of them being in the fields and picking cotton and all that.
Right.
So for you to experience it.
It was horrible.
Right.
But can I tell you the worst part of it all for me? Do you know at the end of the day, it was a couple of things that made it really bad. But at the end of the day, I was only given 75 cents. And my grandmother took 50 cents of that. So that was one thing. But the other thing was the way we ate. One of the things I loved about it is it also helped me understand the blues. Do you know when you wanted water out there, there was this one bucket of water with a big chunk of ice inside of it, a steel bucket with one dipper. And there was a water boy that was responsible for running to whoever wanted water. And so you to get your water, you would go, "Water boy!" And he would come trucking across the field to bring you this bucket. And you dip, and you don't care how many people has dipped in that bucket because you're thirsty.
Right.
You dip, and baby, that water tastes like liquid gold. It tastes like liquid gold, seriously. And then for lunchtime, a truck would come up. And the truck would park. And so, of course, those who were wise or knew about the situation, everybody dived to get under the on the side of the truck so that they can get the shade, because there was no shade. You were literally in the sun. But they would give you these bologna sandwiches. The bread would be about this thick, and the bologna would be about that thick. No mayonnaise, no mustard. Just be happy you're eating. But again, you've been working so hard, and you were so hot and so thirsty and hungry.
Anything.
Baby, it tastes like you were eating filet mignon.
I know we have gone on a trek here. We're talking about the fields of the South. But this is her introduction to the blues.
Yes.
And so tell me how the music came about in this whole scheme of things.
Because my mother worked in the field, and my father's parents were the sharecroppers, and my mother family kind of worked for their family. But all of them were musical. And so the things that they would do to inspire themselves while they were working or when they gathered together would always be songs that literally we would call the blues. My family was one of the only families I've ever heard of. We did a family reunion, and we were gospel oriented. They literally had church. They cleared out a tavern, and they held church. Baby, we stomped the floor in their place. I'm serious.
Boy, tell us about that one.
Yes, it was a family reunion, and the only thing that was available for us to all get together to do the music was a tavern. And my family, the Mighty Klaus of Joy, I believe that's the name of the group. We, as a part of the family reunion, everybody got up and we sang. And when I tell you that they literally tore the church, that was my family. That was what I can't. Everybody could sing, so it wasn't like, okay, you sing, oh well. That was just how it was.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you come from blues lineage.
Yes.
A family of singers who literally because, when I was studying about the blues,
Right.
you hear all kinds of folk tales, I want to call them,
Right.
About how it got started, where it got started,
Right.
who started it,
Mm-hmm.
and it was out of the bellies of the cries of men in the
Absolutely. Tormented people
Correct.
that were in torment. But for my family, and this is something that I don't even read about very often, but my third cousin was Willie Mabin. And Willie Mabin was the first person to have a hit out on Chess Records before everybody else came along with like the Seventh Son and just a few other things. And so again, it was always in my family. And you weren't special because you could sing or because you had some musical abilities, because that's just how it was.
The whole family was.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to dive into another song, and we're going to come back on this historical ride with Dena Michaels, my guest here on Jazzabrations Live. LaRon, take me into the next song, and we're going to come back and talk about some more blues history before we bring on the main man.
Sugar Mill. This is my first time here, and I think I'm gonna like it. You pick up my song first.
No, you do whatever you want.
It's sad to think, well, I'm not gonna make it.
Say what?
And it's gotten to the point where I just can't fake it. For someone else, we just won't let it die. Because neither one of us wants to be the first to say goodbye. I keep wondering, said what I'm gonna do without you. And I guess you must be wondering the same thing too. Oh, but we go on together, living our lives. Oh, because neither one of us wants to be the first to say. Neither one of us wants to be the first to say. Neither one of us wants to be the first to say farewell, my
Good night. Girl, she tearing that up.
love.
That was Miss Dena Michaels jamming.
Thank you.
Jamming at a, looks like a Cadillac Zax.
Yes.
Production.
It absolutely was. But I want to make sure that I give a shout out to the young lady who did the filming, Anjani Lynn White. She captured me beautifully, and I promise to always make sure that she's the person that handles me as far as my video image is concerned. She's great. I love her.
God, that sounds so great. It was just, I know you were telling me in the background that it didn't, but to the audience, we know that it sounded great because that was one of her, video rendition of you doing a wonderful song.
Thank you.
Now,
Thank you.
I got to ask you your blues influences. Who influenced you to really get into this blues thing?
Okay. Before I can say anybody else, I want to say who inspired me first locally. Mm-hmm. Barbara Morrison. Mm-hmm. I've told this story many times. I was kind of laid back in my career, and I was looking for a new twist, and so I started going online looking for songs, and I happened to, come across one of her videos, and she was captivating. I watched how she sang her songs, how she interacted with her audience, and I just loved her. So I actually turned into a groupie. I mean, I sought her out. So I started asking some of my musical friends, like, who is she? And everybody knew about her but me. So I'm like, okay, how's that? Anyhow, I actually lived around the corner from where her performance arts center is. And so I made it my purpose to literally walk in that area every day, all the time, until I finally walked and I ran into her. And I was like, Miss Morrison, hi, how are you doing? I'm one of your biggest fans. And I said, I really believe that you're going to be instrumental in helping me with my career. And she, she was kind of busy. She had someone with her and she was on her way somewhere. She said, well, what do you sing? And I started telling her, like, Natalie Cole, all the people that I was singing. And she said, you need to sing the blues. And now I did not do any blues. I was like, I don't do blues. I don't do blues. And she, as if, if the teacher is talking, you don't question the teacher, you just get it handled. She was matter of fact, and she said, you need to sing the blues. And she turned and walked away. But because I really believed in my heart that she would be instrumental in helping me move forward in my career, that was all I needed. So I went home and I started studying the blues, and here I am.
Here we are today singing with some of the blues legends of the world going on here.
Follow the teacher.
Yes. And so in your training,
yes,
who were some of the blues artists that you started seeking out?
So after that, then I started, locally, there was Lady Gigi. She really influenced me because I loved the way she carried herself.
Oh,
so
yeah. She's one of our blues legends.
Margaret Love, because she's, to me, like the greatest entertainer. She's just Miss Entertainment herself.
Consummate.
Absolutely.
She's another one of our blues legends.
Then there was Sonny Green. I love Sonny can do no wrong as far as I'm concerned.
Oh my God!
And then
what's my song he sings? Whatever for he
got so many.
I know it.
He got so many. But then there was also who taught me how to take my stage, to command my stage. I have to give credit to Duffy Daryl Glenn Harris.
Yes.
I actually learned that from him. Of course, him making sure that he took the stage from me, it was a learning lesson. So I was like, okay, this is how I need to do it in order to make sure that I, maintain command of my stage.
Duffy Glenn is another one of the legends that we've honored.
Yes, he is. But then when I needed to go into learning from others, there was Etta James and Ruth Brown and Alberta Hunter,
Miss Linda Hopkins.
Oh, girl, absolutely. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to tell you this. I was afraid of my voice until I had an opportunity to hear Linda Hopkins. And when I saw how she was comfortable with being big and boisterous and loud, I was like, okay, so it's okay. It's okay that I'm a loudmouth.
Yes.
And I embraced
that diva traveled the world with her gift.
Yeah, so it was so many.
May she rest in peace, Mama.
Yes. And I actually had a chance to actually meet her and let her hear me sing. And I was at a club one night and I was singing and she had her head down. And every time somebody would get up there, she kept her head down. Linda, when I got on the mic, she looked up and I was like, yes.
Oh, yeah. And she had a way to tell you if she thought that you were good, she would tell you.
She looked up and I was like, okay, got to be something good to that. So I was just happy to know that she looked up.
Oh, absolutely. Well, tell me this. Tell me this. Now that you are comfortable with the blues, you got your feet in it, you done stomped in, put your signature on it. What are we doing next?
Well, I just think the blues for me is more than just a genre of music. Because when you stop and you think about the origination of it and how it came about, I'm embracing it as an opportunity to sing my history and to sing history itself. And so I don't want to just approach it as just being on a stage and just doing some music. I really want, it's a ministry for me, because I understand that when people hear the blues, it makes them cry, which gives them an opportunity to release problem, pain that they're experiencing. It makes them laugh, because sometimes you just have to laugh at some of the irony of the things that's happening to you. So
it's so true.
Yeah. So I'm approaching it from more than just a place of wanting to entertain. I really want to minister to people by way of the blues. Everybody wants to put you in boxes. I don't want to be in a box.
Well, with that, I hear that, and to me, a lot of people have said that they don't want to hear the blues because they don't want to relive the past. They don't want to hear about the sadness.
Right.
But some songs that the blues men sing, they are just downright hilarious to me.
Yes, they are funny. They are funny.
Because it's their stories of what they felt.
Right.
It's coming from them.
Right.
And they tell you about,
Long, tall Sally, big leg woman. I mean,
what's his? Oh my God, he's no longer with us.
Jamie Powell.
Jamie Powell had a song that first time I heard it.
When you leave, don't take nothing.
So I love you listening to the blues because, like you said, if you hear the stories of the person that's singing it, and it is a different type of vibe that you get into.
Yes.
So I'm going to take that one and we're going to go into the next song.
Okay.
And whatever Lamont going to play, I just realized I got my little Perrier up here. Whatever LaRon going to play, we're going to go into the next one. Okay. You're here with me, Linda Morgan, your host on Jazzabrations Live with my guest, Dena Michaels. Come on, LaRon.
I'm going to dedicate this with all the old blues men, Bobby Glenn, Johnny Tate, B.B. King. They call it Stormy Monday, but Tuesdays just as bad. Said they call it Stormy Monday, but Tuesdays just as bad. Said Wednesday's a word. Thursday is oh so sad. He gonna fly on Friday. And Saturday, I go out and play. Said the eagle, he flies on Friday. Church
And yes, she found her baby. Yes, she did. I am back, your host, Linda Morgan, here on Jazzabrations Live with my guest, Dena Michaels. That was her doing one of her renditions of
Stormy Monday.
Stormy Monday.
Yeah.
And we were just talking on the break, and I told her, I said, everybody can't sing the blues. Some people think they can sing the blues, but everybody can't sing the blues. Everybody needs to get comfortable and get in their lane where they can, fit in where they can,
right,
and stay there.
The blues chose me, though. I didn't choose the blues. The blues chose me.
Well, you know what? It made a great choice because, because when you see an entertainer and they're singing the blues, you could tell they feel it.
Right.
Some people just sing and it's not intrinsically in their being as to who they are as an entertainer.
Right.
But when somebody sings the blues and they make you feel it in your bones, that's a different type of blues singer. You know, when I first heard Bernie Pearl, I knew that intrinsically, Bernie knew where the blues
he was feeling
from.
it exactly. He means what he's doing,
right? And and it's a difference in different people trying to imitate the blues and be a part of it. Now, if we do have anybody that's calling in, I do want to give you that number. It's 323-293-3375. You're welcome to call in with us today and say hello to Dena.
Please.
Say hello. And then definitely we're going to continue this conversation. We're going to continue this dialogue in Black History Month about the historical references of blues and how it's impacted you and your family.
Right.
Do you have any other relatives in the business?
Well, I have an uncle. His name is Bobby, but when he was out, he was called Bobby Saxton, and he wrote a song called "A Nickel and a Key." So you can actually catch that. I found it online, and then I have an aunt named Minnie Thomas, and she actually traveled with B.B. King for a little bit, and she sang the blues. Like I said, my whole family, they are literally, that's what they do. They do blues and gospel. That's it.
Okay. Well, it definitely shows in your lineage that you have the roots.
Thank you.
Of the blues.
Thank you.
And so I'm going to just do some off-the-cuff thinking.
Okay.
In terms of, if I call out a name, you tell me if it resonated with you in any kind of way.
Okay.
In blues.
Okay.
Some of our local blues legends that I've honored in the past 8 years.
Okay.
Somebody to me who really has a soul for the blues. Do you know Miss Mary Bogue?
Oh, absolutely. I know Mary. But she's just, she's all around though. You can't just plug her.
No, she's not just a blues singer, but when she sings
absolutely
the blues,
talented. Yes.
I feel
yes,
like she knows
what she's singing.
Right.
She feels that absolutely.
Right.
I love how she delivers. She comes across, her personality, everything. It shows when she's on stage. I love her.
So and it's so amazing that as I'm sitting here thinking and talking about it. After 138 jazz and blues legends, I really don't know the number of men versus women, which now is just. I was turning in my head that I got to go back and just see how many of them are in blues, how many of them are in jazz, how many women, how many men, and then to be able to start formulating that over the next 3 years as I start to wind down.
Well, if you would give me an opportunity, because there's two people that I really I have to mention them, and because I'm very grateful for them, because of them, they gave me they shared their stage with me. One of them is Kelly Chapeau. She's one of the singers. She sings with Bobby Spencer's All Stars. Kelly was one of the first people to literally give me her mic and let me get on stage. And she would drive me because I would get up there. She said, "You better sing this song." I mean, she would push me. So I want to say thank you to her because she can kill some blues. And then there's Empress. I call her Empress Rosa Brooks. She keeps me on point. She tells me, like, look, you need to make sure you're taking care of this, do that, so I want to. And she's another one that she makes me cry. when I watch her sing. There's some songs that she sang that are original tunes. Like one of my favorites of hers is Mother Nature. Don't mess with Mother Nature. Right. I have to just give them a shout out because those two women, not only are they great blues singers, but they are the biggest hearted and absolutely comfortable with themselves enough to let
encourage the world to be a part. That's right, Miss Rosalie
Thank
Brooks.
you so much.
She graced our stage here last month. She is also one of our blues legends as well.
Yes.
Dear, I'm hoping that you are at your computer. Do I need to text you and tell you to call in? I know you're watching us on the computer, but I need you to call in 323-293-3375 and give Miss Dena some words of encouragement. Now we're going to come right back and then we're going to flip the script because I want to hear some acoustic guitar up in here.
Yes.
And so we're going to go into another one of your videos.
Okay.
And then when we come back, y'all, I'm going to join us. I'm going to have Mr. Bernie Pearl join us.
Yes.
Stay right tuned.
Yes.
We'll be right back on Jazzabrations Live with our next song from Miss Dena Michaels.
Thank you.
My guest, and I will look forward to Bernie joining us to my left.
You had a dollar, and I had a dime. Would you let me borrow yours, like I let you borrow mine? I give my love time and time again. But if I don't get nothing in return, boy, then guess what? You're on my dime, my friend. All I'm trying to say is, be good to me, be good to me. Yes, be good to me than I am to you. I just need you to be good to me. That's all. Baby, as I am to you. I ain't asking for more. I just want you to be good to me. Amen. Woo! Just be good to me, baby. Just be good to me as I am to you. 'Cause this is what's gonna happen. If you ain't good to me, boy, guess what? I'm telling you I'm through.
Welcome back to Jazzabrations Live. I'm here. If you can see, we've added blues legend Bernie Pearl in with us right now. And we're going to get to hear him and Dena do some live music. I've been wanting to do this since the show opened. This is my first test of doing some live music. Actually, we played a little bit on the inaugural because
we did.
Latrice sang, and then JJ, she was here. She sang a little bit. But this time we get to see and be able to see and hear you do your thing with the legendary blues guitarist, Bernie Pearl.
Yes.
So without further ado, I'm just going to let you guys have it. I'm just going to sit here.
Go ahead.
Go for it.
it yourself. Have you ever loved someone more than you did yourself? You work hard to give them a happy home, and they act a fool in love. Just because you're pretty, baby, and you can get every woman in town. Just because you're fine, boy, and you can get every woman in town. You ain't doing nothing but tearing your reputation down. Come on, Bernie. You better stop putting on and let me know. Go on and let me be. Yeah.
Hercules. See, that's what I'm talking about. Live blues. Look like I'm in heaven over here. My little Now, what was the name of that song?
It's called If You Ever Loved a Woman. It's actually written by Lightning Hopkins. And I actually chose that one. He's one of the people that I chose because I've been talking with Bernie, and Bernie's been like educating me on some stuff. Like there's this one particular person that I never had ever heard about him before. One String Sam. I didn't even know. I thought that Bo Diddley was a person. I had no idea that Bo Diddley got his name as a result of an instrument called a diddley bow. And it's a one-string guitar that they brought over from Africa. And, of course, sitting with Bernie, few seconds and I'm learning something.
Okay, so Bo Diddley is not a person that's
Bo Diddley is a blues person, but he literally got his name from an instrument, a diddley bow. It's a one-string guitar. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I see Bernie that switched guitars with us. He want to make it sound acoustically as best as possible. So
yes.
Give us another.
I just learned that this is called a national. And it's a guitar that is used a lot with Delta blues, And so
Bernie, do you want to tell our artists a little bit about this guitar?
Well, all I know about it, it was made in around the same year that I was born and was made here in Southern California. The people that started making these, they're called resophonic guitars because they have a resonator inside. And it's all metal. This is nickel-plated copper. They were from Czechoslovakia, two brothers. They came over and began, I think they were violin makers. They began making violins and they saw there was a market for guitars. So they began making guitars. And during the 20s and 30s when big bands would play, there was no amplification. There was no microphones. Instead of using guitars, all the bands were switching to banjos. And since they made guitars, they came up with the idea of having an all-metal because it's plenty loud. You can hear it.
Yes.
Yes.
You can hear that.
Yes.
Okay. Well, looks like right before we start back up, we have a caller on the line.
Okay.
Thank you for calling in. This is Linda, your host with Jazzabrations Live. Who's on the line with us?
This is Rosa.
Hi,
Hello.
Empress.
Hey, guys. Oh, my God. This is so beautiful. I got to first say, Linda, you hit another home run, girl.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Having Dena on the show with Ernie Pearl, Mr. Blues himself, to impart all this beautiful knowledge and music. I just sit back there, and that was Bernie and Dena. That was perfection, what you just did.
Oh, thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so much.
Yes, indeed, that was just awesome. And anyway, I just wanted to call in because I love this show so much, and I just hope that it will continue.
Yes.
Keep this awesome show going. And there's plenty of other artists out there that,
Yes.
you know, like you mentioned, a lot of people that definitely should come on this show and share and impart all the experience and knowledge that they can about the root and the blues. And we're going to continue to keep it alive and make sure that everybody has a taste of blues.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
And
Love
Dena,
you.
God love you so much, girl. You're beautiful.
I love you, Empress.
Everything you touch, like I say, you blow it up.
I love you, girl. Thank you so much.
Thank you
All right.
for calling in. We're going to get back to this blues with Bernie and Dena doing some live stuff. You know, I've been wanting to do this, so this is like our first show that we are doing it live with Bernie Pearl and Dena Michaels. Take it away, y'all.
Don't you mind people grinning in your face? Don't you mind people grinning in your face? Just bear in mind, true friends are hard to find. Don't you mind people grinning in your face? Well, your mother will talk about you, and your sisters and your brother too. Don't matter how you're trying to live, oh, they'll talk about you still. So don't you mind people grinning in your face? Don't you mind people grinning in your face? Don't you mind people grinning in your face? Just bear in
child.
yes.
Thank you so much, Bernie.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
See, when you feel it when you're sitting right next
Yes.
up on it, how
Yes.
it sounds, y'all. Now, you are watching us live here on Jazzabrations Live today. I don't know what camera I'm supposed to be looking at because I'm all over the place. I'm just excited that I have in the studio with me blues legend Bernie Pearl
Yes.
and Miss Dena Michaels as my guest on
Thank
this
you.
Sunday afternoon, talking and singing the blues.
Thank you. What I was asking Bernie, what I was saying is that what I love about the blues is that you could just be creative. The blues allows you to just sing what's happening in your life, what's on your heart. You know,
Correct.
You put a story to it. So we're just going to make something up real quick, just so that we can show how
Improvisation.
till the sun goes down. Said, go on, babe. Go on and leave me alone. Go on, babe. Go on and leave me alone. I can't make you do right by me, but there ain't no right way to do you wrong. I love it.
Wow.
I love it.
See,
Thank you so much.
just the
Bernie. Thank you.
We're just getting started. Wait a minute.
I know it. Improvisation of blues just makes you.
Yes, just come up with whatever's happening at that time. And that's what I'm saying, that's what they did. They sang, I actually believe that they sang their way out of slavery, because if you hum, if you notice whenever you're sick, you go, you moan, you groan, it's because you're trying to change the atmosphere. So they literally moaned, groaned, and sang their way out of their atmosphere.
Yes. Well, we're going to keep on playing. Y'all just keep on playing. I want to see this live and in person. If you
Well, let me
keep,
get the other guitar there.
yeah, let's get the other one. As Bernie switch out his other guitar. No, he's just going to put it over here. But this is us, y'all, we working through our little kinks. We're just doing this live, making it live, because I wanted to be able to see how we could play live music and have the show going on. And so this is wonderful that we're able to experiment here. I know my engineer back there, Johnny Morris, got his hands on his head like, what is she doing?
Thank you, Mr. Morris.
I want to just give a shout out to my engineers. They work hard for me because I just come up with some stuff and I be like throwing it on them. Thank you, Mr. Johnny Morris and LaRon Davidson, for working with a sister today.
See, you had that song, "Found My Baby." That one. You mentioned to her that she said, "I found my baby."
Jamie Powell song.
Oh no, that if you leave, don't take nothing. But I don't know that.
Oh
one.
no, I thought you said.
What about 5 long years?
Okay.
We can do
5 long years, y'all. We going
I was
with
going to
5
suggest
long
you do.
years.
I found my baby. in the arms of another woman. And then I thought, well, this is the modern time. I found my baby
In the arms of another man. Why
well,
not?
You took words out of my mouth.
Why not?
Okay. Have it.
G?
Yes. Have you ever loved? Then you know what I'm talking about. Said, have you ever been mistreated? You know what I'm talking about. I spent 5 long years working for one man, and he had the nerve to put me out. Got me a job at a steel mill, trucking steel like a slave. For 5 long years, every Friday I went straight home with my pay. I've been mistreated. You know what I'm talking about. I've spent 5 long years working for one man, and he had the nerve to put me out. Should have learned a long time ago. The next man that I get with, he's gonna act and bring home all the dough. Oh, I've been mistreated. You know what I'm talking about. I've spent 5 long years working for one man, and he had the nerve to put me out. Thank you, Bernie. God bless you. Thank you so much.
You guys are live here in studio with me, Linda Morgan, on Jazzabrations Live. I'm here with my guest, Miss Dena Michaels, and the legendary blues guitarist, Bernie Pearl, as we sit here and just play some blues for you on this Sunday afternoon. So we're looking forward to y'all to sit back, go take this ride on out with us as we just play it on out to the sunset.
Yeah.
Welcome back next week on Jazzabrations Live here from 3 to 4 p.m. And we're just going to keep it going.
And if I don't mind making a personal plug for myself, next
Absolutely.
week, next Saturday, I will be at the Urban Press Winery in Burbank at 8 p.m. doing an unplugged set. You guys don't want to miss it. Come on
Absolutely.
out.
And Mr. Bernie, where's your next gig?
March 10th at Boulevard Music in concert, all acoustic. And on April 5th, I'm going to be in concert at the Barbara Morrison Performing Arts Center Thursday, April 5th with my good buddy Job Striles doing one set and the Burning Pearl Blues Band on the other set.
All right, that's April the 5th. So check out our page. I'll do some posting to let you know where they will be coming up. Thank you for riding with us. We're just going to go out with Dena and Michaels jamming it to the end.
Said, hey, hey, the blues is alright. I said, hey, hey, the blues is alright. Oh, hey, hey, the blues is alright. Hey, hey, the blues is alright. Oh, hey, hey, oh, the blues is alright. Come on, one more time. Oh, hey, hey, the blues is alright.
The blues is alright.
It's alright.
Oh, it's alright.
It's alright.
It's alright.
It's alright.
It's alright. Oh, hey, hey, the blues is alright. Hey, hey, the blues is alright. Oh, hey, hey, the blues is alright. Oh, hey, hey, the blues is alright. The blues is alright. The blues is alright. The blues is alright. Y'all sing it with us. Whoa, hey, hey, the blues is alright. Hey, hey, the blues. Whoa, hey, hey, yeah, the blues is alright. Hey, hey, the blues is alright. The blues is alright. The blues is alright. The blues is alright. Yeah.
All the telephone lines are down. Then they call my baby. Can't get a single sound.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Jazzabrations.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank
and as
you.
always, we thank you for taking this ride with us on this Sunday afternoon on Jazzabrations Live here at Morris Media Studios. We'll see you next week on Morris Media Studios Live. Take care.
Thank you, Bernie.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.